Hi, Jake Recaps here. Today, I am going to explain a movie called Journalist. Porter Wren, New York crime columnist, but his work does not bring him much income. He can only feed himself and his family. At a party hosted by Tycoon Hobbs, Porter meets a charming girl named Caroline. Realizing that girl wants something from him, he asks a question, to which Caroline offers to answer at her house. In the apartment, the girl stretches Porter an envelope with documents about the death of her husband Simon, a well-known film director, including photos from the scene, as well as police reports stating that Simon's body was found in the collapsed building. But how does he get there? Hit unknown, but the area around buildings are surrounded by a high fence, and Simon has the keys to the front gate. Having studied the documents, Porter returns home. Arriving at the office in the morning, Porter unfolds a piece of paper with Caroline's phone number. Porter calls the girl. Having arrived to her, he asks girl about the time when she met Simon. According to Caroline, she met Simon in the bar where she came after she was fired from her job. They had a nice chat with Simon, who a couple of hours after meeting made a proposal to a girl, to which Caroline agreed. After a couple of days they got married. 6 months happy life ended after how Simon didn't come home one day. Caroline got flustered but did not call police, because she knew for sure that if Simon finds out about this, he will not be happy. But 3 days later, the girl realized that something had happened to her husband. Police never solved this murder, so girl turned to the porter. After all, very often people trust their secrets to this guy, as many people know him. Taking a coat, Porter leaves girl's apartment, but discovering that he left phone, he returned. Taking up the phone from the table, Porter realizes that Caroline is taking a shower. Stealthily approaching the bathroom door, guy notices that girl satisfies herself. Caroline remarks Porter, who apologizes to girl. She wonders if he liked watching her. She confesses that in the shower she was just thinking about him. Afterwards, girl and Porter start kissing each other and then make love. Having cheated on his wife, Porter returns home and begins an investigation into the death of her husband, Simon. Caroline has something that she wants to show only to the porter. Girl takes him to the bank where the flash drive is stored on which Simon's records. After some time, someone calls to Porter's phone. The voice on the receiver says that Hobbs wants to see him. Hobbs is current owner of the newspaper where the guy works. Leaving the bank, Porter notices a man who has been following him. Porter rushes after him, but he manages to escape. Arriving to Mr. Hobbs, Porter learns that the magnate knows everything about his affair with Caroline, who constantly sends Hobbs one and the same record with compromising evidence on a man without demanding any money. Task of the porter is to deal with this. Since Hobbs is very influential, he begins to intimidate the guy. Hobbs is well aware that Porter's family lives mainly on the salary of his wife, Lisa, to which Hobbs is able to influence and deprive her of her job. Arriving home, Porter learns from Lisa that today a very strange 28-year-old patient came to her complaining of joint pain, but during the examination, Lisa did not find anything. Arriving at Caroline, Porter informs her that he has something for her. Girl also has something for Porter, so she suggests postponing things for later. After the girl begins to ask Porter about Lisa, Porter assumes that it was Caroline who came yesterday to Lisa's appointment, with which girl agrees. Caroline was inspired to do this by her curiosity. Lisa is very smart, so Porter asks girl not to see his wife again. Caroline asks Porter if he thinks about her when he makes love to his wife, to which guy replies yes. Then Porter directly asks Caroline about the record which was sent to his boss. Girl confesses that she is not doing this. Caroline hoped that Porter would find this record while investigating Simon's murder. Who sends it to Hobbs? Girl does not know, but know it is there because she was there. According to her stories, Simon constantly tested girl to find the limit of her opportunities. They put each other conditions. At the request of Caroline, Simon has to hold a dying man by hand, and Caroline has to sleep with someone unexpected, The chauffeur or some gardener won't work. That evening, girl saw Hops. She saw him on TV, so she immediately recognized him. Having learned in which hotel room he was staying, girl entered where she filmed everything that was happening on a spy camera pen. Porter concludes that everything that happened between him and the girl very secret. The next day, Porter goes to the nursing home, where he meets with Simon's father, asking the old man about the memory card. Not receiving a response from Frank, he searches his room and finds a video camera in the nightstand, ejects the memory card. At this moment, he receives a message from Lisa. Arriving at the hospital, Porter learns that some man wounded her with a pistol. To keep his family safe, Porter ready to do everything. It is possible to do this through his confident Kemble. Throwing a noose around his neck, he demands to call Hops. Contacting the billionaire, Porter demands to leave his family alone, otherwise he will make 1,000 copies of that video and send it to all the sites of the world. To which Hops gives the guy 24 hours to deliver the record to him. Otherwise, everything that happened to him will be a kindergarten compared to what lies ahead. Returning home, Porter looks through the video record that he stole from Simon's father. There is nothing special on the video, only Frank's request not to blame himself for what will happen. Later on the video, old Mrs. Sagal also lit up, who visited Frank very often at the nursing home. Porter goes to the old woman, but no one answered his calls late at night. Finding the key to the front door, Porter gets in. Digging through letters, he hears a noise. He can't get out of the house, so he hides behind the door. Mrs. Sagal sees him and she is trying to call the police. But Porter explains her everything and asks her for help. Showing his documents, the old woman finds out journalist, as he constantly reads his articles. According to her, Simon and her son Michael was childhood friends. Michael drowned in childhood, and Simon continued to visit after the death of his mother, becoming almost a son for Mrs. Sagal. As soon as Simon began to earn money, he constantly sent $2,000 to the old woman. But on the accounts that the Porter saw, there was a completely different amount, $5,000. According to the old woman, she received this money from Simon's company for sending flash drives to Hops. Mrs. Sagal says that she has the last flash drive, which she passes to the Porter. Porter is looking at a video record in which Caroline seduces Hops, but he confesses girl that he has problems with men dignity, which he lost in a fight in his youth. Caroline also shares her story with the billionaire, which Porter can't hear because they're so quiet talking. Understanding that exactly for this record was looking Hops, Porter gives the flash drive to the billionaire. Case seems to be closed, but Hops says that they searched Caroline's apartment in search of a flash drive and found a key that did not fit any of the doors. The next day, with this key, Porter goes to the place where Simon's body was found. Key opens doors of the tunnel through which it was possible to get into the basement of both buildings. One of the buildings where Simon's body was found was demolished, but the second exact copy of the demolished one remained there. The journalist met a security guard. According to the man, elevator in the demolished buildings was downstairs in the basement of the house, and police did not search anything because elevator was under a thick layer of soil. Having hired a team that digs out an elevator of a demolished building, Porter gets inside. He is there to test devices to which multiple cameras have been connected. In the record, Simon shows Caroline the horse that Hops gave her after the girl told her story in a hotel room. This horse figurine costs a lot of money. Simon does not want to let Caroline out until he hears the same story, but for the girl this story is too personal. Simon crashes the horse and then fastens girl to the elevator and swallows the key. Simon lowers the elevator down and he pulls girl behind him so as not to die. She agrees to tell him what happened in her childhood. Simon stops the elevator and girl, grabbing the leg from the horse figurine, sticks it into her husband's neck. To get free, she need a key that Simon swallowed. Girl rips open his stomach and finds key. Going upstairs, Porter calls Caroline, saying that he found the record and gave it to Hops. Girl asks to meet and shows Porter the engagement ring that her new boyfriend gave to Caroline. Porter also has something to show. He pulls out the head from a horse figurine found in a demolished building. Taking out key that Hops give him, Porter talks about fact that Simon's murder was caught on camera. Taking out the key from Simon's stomachs, Caroline freed herself, after which she wrapped the chain around the door of the tunnel so that no one would find Simon's body. Porter shows the flash drive, explaining that it is a copy. He hid the original and demands that Caroline never appear in his life again. Having wished the girl happiness, Porter leaves. And here movie ends. Thank you for watching and see you tomorrow at the same time.